So hi there guys, welcome back to another Marvel Rivals replay review. Today we're having a look at some Groot and Thor gameplay for Tyr Condor. We're going to be on Shin Shibuya. This is a Diamond 2 game. Um, and we're just going to be pointing out maybe some ability usage. We're going to be trying to do some depth analysis, figure out why Tyrell died, how he could position himself better on this map, where his walls could be useful, and just some general gameplay to help him climb the ranks. If this is something you guys would be interested, make sure to check out the Discord, the Twitch, or the YouTube. Pop your replay request in, and this could be one of your games, which makes its way onto YouTube or onto Twitch. So let's get into it.
Battle starts in 5.
The good news is, Tiro, you're on F1, which is my favorite button to press.
You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Thank you very much, Wolfin. Much appreciated. I haven't got any Groot or Thor gameplay on the YouTube yet, so this is one that may make its way onto there, if there's some good stuff here for us to learn. So just your little brown wall at the moment, if we just look, you have got it kind of tucked away. A lot of Groots do like to do this, because those of you that don't know, whenever you have your brown wall down, it means that you get bonus health if you are within the green circle. What I would probably argue to you, though, is instead of just putting the brown wall here, just put it here. Just block off this passageway. Yes, the enemy might come and decide to do some damage, but just get a little bit more usage out of it by having it in an area where it can block some direction for the enemy. I like that you do this. A lot of Groots don't use their brown wall in this kind of defensive manner, especially when they're on defense. This also is hurting my eyes, so we won't look at that anymore. But yeah, just a little tip about that brown wall. Just try and use it there. Maybe block off that angle. Another little Groot tip as well is you can use a wall if you hold the button down, which you use to place a wall, which in this case is L1, and you drag your cursor, you can actually put both walls down at once. So in that situation there where you're trying to trap the Thor, we could have maybe put down both walls, just creating a bit of LOS, or we could have put the walls kind of here, making it a little bit harder for his healers to heal him. Very nice kill there on the Loki. How do we even end up getting it? Is he just walks out in front of the wall and takes a beating? So no, good aim there. Good to see. And then we're just standing a little bit too far out in the open there, Tyrell, while we're taking a lot of damage. So we can see the Hela starts pumping into us. I'd like to see us just step slightly to the side. Just use this natural cover to give our healers an opportunity to heal us. So Thor has also just jumped past us. So this would be a good chance for us to drop our wall. Put another wall down, turn around, help our team out. Create that block, that line of sight, which is one of Groot's really, one of his advantages is that he's able to block line of sights. So drop that wall down, turn around, help out the team, back up into this little corner to put some shots onto the Thor while not getting shot by the Hela. Just a little bit more reactive from you would be useful. Fortunately, the rest of the team's able to handle the Thor, and you do hold that front line. Just a bit of slight aggression here with the wall. I understand maybe what you're thinking with this wall, but I would like to see you maybe place the Groot wall against this wall, so anyone who walks through here and your wall's on the side, they can take some damage. It's also useful to maybe pop one over here. You could even put your brown wall down here to try and stop the enemy from being able to get some of those flank lines on you. So just think a little bit more there about the wall usage, because it's very rare that someone's probably going to stand in front of this wall. If you get a kill with it, I'll eat my hat and apologize. I don't mind this wall here. You're being a little bit sneaky with it. So we've got a Groot against us now. So make sure you don't let him catch you with a wall. It's the most important thing. And just there. So you're baiting them round here. We've got a wall available. This is an opportunity for us to drop a wall in this tight little corridor as they're coming forward. Drop them off. Yeah. So what a lot of Groots try and do now, as Debenmon's just mentioned, is they put Groot walls like against things like this so that when people walk under them, they take damage. So, you know, if we'd set up in here, maybe we could have had a Groot wall up here or a Groot wall here. But in this situation, I'd love to see you have tried to trap one of these tanks behind one of your walls. You know, we're very defensive. We're pulling back. You know, we're in a safe space now. A lot of our team is with us. That's an opportunity for us to try and make a play there. Look how far this Groot pushes as well. Just imagine a cheeky little Groot wall behind him right now. You know, his cloak and dagger wouldn't be able to come through and save him. Maybe he gets knocked up into the sky by the thing and he would have escaped. But just, yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more of an aggressive, a little bit more of a sneaky play. And I like that we're destroying the Groot walls, but if we kill the Groot there, the Groot's dead. So just in this situation, instead of shooting these Groot walls, which isn't really a threat to anybody, you know, no one's really near this, it's by the payload, the other side's blocked by its own wall, I'd love to see the aggression going on to this Groot. And I think if we join in with some of the damage on him, he probably dies here. Instead, we're wasting a lot of time kind of shooting those walls. And he ends up dying like a second after we destroy them, so we don't actually gain a lot for it. So push forward. You've just killed both of their tanks here. It's time to get aggressive. It's time to move forward to take advantage of the fact that, you know, you guys have got those 2 kills. And push your aggression. Push the 6v4. So yeah, just push forward here, Tiro. You know, you've got a Hela over there on the right. We've got DJ Butthole. God, who's had some cracking names today, guys. We've got DJ Butthole over on the right that we can go and deal with. We've got Taste My Third Leg. Doing some damage too. You know, Loki clone shouldn't be our target there. Let's get that Hela. Let's punish her. You know, look where the thing's gone. What's he? Is he F5? He's F4. Maybe a little bit too aggressive, but he's kept that aggression pushing forward. And I think if you went with him, that Hela dies there. Obviously, it's harder for someone like Groot to escape, so it feels a little worse trying to do some of these, you know, flanky attacks or pushing forward attacks. We've got our ulti, so I'd love to see us getting ready to drop a big ult. Got the cloak and dagger going on at the moment. So where's our brown wall? Our brown wall's still over here. We have it again. It's given us health, but we haven't gained much of an advantage in using it as a kind of blocker. It is okay to be used for health, but it doesn't need to be used like this for health the whole game. Especially when there's a cloak and dagger ultimate going on. Having walls down to try and stop her from getting as much spread as this is really, really important. Also, getting walls down to try and make the fight a little bit more confusing is really helpful as well. Tyrrell. So just a few different things there. So again, that probably there was the option for the ulti. So if we just look, there's a moment there where there's kind of 3 people together. So if we look, this would have been a good ulti opportunity. We could have dropped the ult. We've got 2 walls available. We could have put our 2 walls behind them and then just started doing some damage. Mantis does have her ulti, so she may have used hers, but at least we would have forced it out. Instead, the enemy Groot's got an ulti off on us. And then we end up just dying. Because they have control of that fight, unfortunately. You see how this Groot as well, who's used his brown wall to block off that? Again, this is an option that we could use our brown wall for. It isn't always just useful for blocking damage or, you know, getting health. It's good to stop enemies from coming out of certain areas. It's blocking line of sights. And then you'll just split off. One of your healer dies. You guys all die. And then it's probably a GG on the point from there. So nothing major, but there was definitely an opportunity where we could have used that ult just slightly earlier. That might have made a difference to the fight. In fact, we do end up popping our ulti, don't we? I didn't notice that. We're do we throw it? So yeah, so you throw it literally just after the Groot, just after you threw yours. So I think it ends up kind of right next to you, pulls the Groot in point blank, doesn't really get anybody else. Sadly. How are you finding it so far, Tyror? Notice you haven't popped a message in yet since we've started your replay. Is there anything you think we're not pointing out? Anything you think we need to have a little look at? So yeah, we lose that point, and again, we're just going back to this kind of very defensive brown wall, which again, it's not the... That's no problem. Just making sure you're still there. So you do know the double wall tech, which is good. This is perfectly fine to shoot the Groot walls, you know, we've got nothing else to shoot. But just think about our positioning as a Groot here. So if things start to go wrong, Tyrrell, where are we going to run? We don't have any natural cover to get to. So it'd be nice to see you playing here on this wall. So that if things do get bad, we can pull behind the wall. Our team can still see us, our team can give us healing, but we can stop taking damage for a moment. Yeah, what's our escape plan? Rasta's mentioned in the chat, we want to LOS Hella, definitely. So we've got DJ Butthole up here. If we have a look at the vision, so we're coming in, we're coming in, we're coming in. If we look, he doesn't have vision of here. So could we be playing on this wall a little bit? This payload has only just come through, so it's not the end of the world. We don't need to stop it right here, but we need an escape plan, and it feels like we don't currently have one. Because we don't have our brown wall to save us when we want to drop it. And I think this is what ends up happening. We get caught in a little windowsill here. And our escape plan is literally to just walk backwards. And we just take damage. You know, both of our healers are still alive, so there's no reason we should be dying there. If we watch that from Luna's point of view for a moment, she just loses full vision of you. So this Luna should be popping ulti here. Both of her tanks are in critical and she can't see one of them. But this is where your escape plan and using this natural wall to block some damage, even maybe get towards this health pack. You know, you could come in here and you could drop a wall in front of you to create even more of a difficult room for you to get to. But yeah, you just haven't thought about how am I getting out if things go wrong. You know, you're just kind of standing forward doing damage, which is fine, you know, which will get you into gold, which will get you into plat, which, you know, will even get you into diamond. But if you want to start pushing GM and Celestial, everything you do in the game, you have to be actively thinking about it. And then when you actively think about it enough, it eventually becomes habit. Yeah. Wolfin says, Groot vs. Groot games make me want to uninstall. Yeah, they're not fun. Me and my friends, we just call it Fortnite mode, because that's what it turns into. Yeah, just a little walk back to the point. Slow Groot moment. So, can you see what's going on the left, Tyrrell? T-Row. Look what's going on over there. Our Cloak and Dagger, she's being bullied by Groot. And we can see it. We can see it going on. You know, maybe we can get over there and put a wall down. But we just ignore her. You know, she's still struggling there. I know we're trying to get back to the payload as quick as we can. I didn't know that Groot tech Debermon. But look at this Groot. Look at what this Groot's doing. He's low health. If we just came down this main road, or if we just kind of had, let me save Cloak and Dagger in our mind, we probably could have killed this Groot. This pathing here is, I want to get back. I'm a tank. I need to get back to the payload as quick as I can. When that's not the case, it's that I need to get back to my team as quick as I can. And your team is here. If you keep walking forward, you're probably just going to die again. And this brown defensive wall is down again. And actually, imagine if we just got this brown wall out here, we used it a little bit aggressively for a moment. You know, it's going to be difficult for us to establish this as a new area while we don't have our other tank and a few of our people are dead. So let's try and use that wall aggressively. Yeah, we could have blocked the doorway. As we mentioned earlier on the previous one, you could use this brown wall to just restrict this area. If they destroy it while they're dealing 700 damage to this wall, just get a bit of extra value out of it. Block a certain path. 9 times out of 10, the DPS walking this way is going to see that and go, okay, fuck it, I can't go that way anymore. And they're going to go this way, or they're going to go up here, go out that door, or go out this door. You know, could we even put it on the high ground up here, blocking this door? There's just a few different options. It doesn't always have to be used for this defensive mode. And again, we're beelining it for the Mantis. We have no idea what's going on behind us, what's happened to the rest of our team. Has Mr. Fantastic just killed everybody? Because it looks like he has. And then we're just going to die. Because again, we're too focused on the payload. We're thinking payload, payload, payload. I need to stop the payload. But actually, you need to keep your team alive. You know, we've actually not looked at our team once since we've respawned. So, look at what's going on behind us. There's a Doctor Strange. And there's a Mr. Fantastic. And there's a Hela. So all that's gone on and we haven't even noticed or realized yet. So just a little bit more awareness, a little bit more focus on your team being your main objective, and then we can stop, you know, turning into a root on the ground.
Better stop that vehicle.
So this is fine. Shoot this, get out of the way. We've got nothing else we can shoot. But again, we're using that brown wall defensively. And also, we haven't used it to block a path again. The enemy team, we've got a lunar ulti going on, so the last thing we need is extra health. Could we use this wall to block off some of the people? You know, could we use the wall to block off a Groot and try and get a kill? Could we use this wall to block line of sight of these Loki clones? We're just using this wall as one thing and one thing only, to give us extra health. How are we doing so far on the leaderboard as well? We've got one final hit. We've died 3 times, unfortunately. So we've died a few too many times so far. I think the first death was inevitable, but the other 2 we could have definitely prevented by just being a little bit more team focused and having a bit of an escape plan. Just here as well, we're pumping a lot of damage into these 2 tanks. Look at this going on over here. You know, could we wall off the Mantis? Could we bounce up to this Hela, cause us some grief? You know, we don't always just want to be pumping into tanks. Again, we're just kind of hitting whoever we can. So if we just look at that again, how many targets do we swap between in this fight? So let's just watch it in slow-mo a little bit. Not that much slow-mo, but at least a little bit of slow-mo. So we come into the fight, and we get one wall down there. So we start fighting the Strange. And then we start hitting the Groot wall. And then still trying to fight the Strange up in the sky. Now we're fighting the Mr. Fantastic. It just feels like we're hitting the first thing that we see. That was a good wall. Unfortunately, I don't think the Thing and Groot combo very well, because he actually knocks him up over your wall. But again, can you see how if we had our brown wall available in this particular area, a brown wall in this spot is really good at just cutting it off, making it difficult. He's a dinosaur, he's a T-Rex. Stay still, it can't see you if you don't move. And then also, you know, we've got a wall available. We dropped the wall. A Namor ulti's gone off. Could we have used an ulti at this situation? We probably didn't need an ulti because of how well the fight is going. and the Strange is dead. But a couple of seconds earlier, it may have been useful. So just here, look how many of them are grouped. Pop a little ulti here, and that should suck everyone in. Guarantees the kill on Doctor Strange as well. The good news is you get the wall down, block him off. Namor and Groot's a really good combo as well, so it could be worth speaking to the Namor and just saying to Namor, let's combo our ultis together this game. Type it in the chat, you know, Namor, combo ult with me. Sorry, we do just use our ulti there, so we'll just comment on that one. So again, we're pushing the aggression because we've killed Strange, we've got the numbers with us. But when we decide to Groot ult here, we've already used both of our walls. So unfortunately, we don't have a wall to support us with extra damage. If we have a wall down here, look how long it takes us to get one. By the time we get that wall down, they've kind of already survived. Yeah, their supports are absolutely putting in work in that position there. So if you think you're going to ult, you know, save your ulti for when you've got a wall down. Or just there, when you throw that wall down, that could have been a good chance. It's okay to just get 1 or 2 in your ult. You don't have to get 4, 5, 6. It's okay to just get a cheeky 2, man. Yeah, try and save a wall for when you're going to ulti. Try and save your right click for when you're going to ult as well. Sorry, not your right click, it's L2. Try and save that, because again, they're in an AoE position. It's the same thing when you're playing Doctor Strange. You want to try and save your Maelstrom of Madness, your big explosion outwards on Strange, for when you use your ultimate. Because those are your abilities that combo together. Same for Groot. You want to make sure that you've got a wall available, and you want to make sure that you've got your AoE damage available. So that what you do is you put your ulti down, you put a wall behind them, or sometimes you can put a wall behind them, then throw your ulti at that wall, and it will suck them into it. Then you use your L2, you use your AoE range damage, so that when it damages multiple people, your walls start whipping them immediately. And that's the combo you want to do with Groot's ult, because it just does so much more damage. In fact, I think we even get our... Did we get it back in time? So just there as well, while we've still got the wall down and we've got those two, our ability does come off cooldown. So we could have used it again there. So fortunately, the thing follows up with a nice ulti. Just there as well, you see her for a moment, Teor. You can hear her shooting. DJ Butthole, low health, in a bad position. We know she's just used her Crow ability to get away. Let's go and get her. You know, let's not give her the opportunity to just freely attack the Star-Lord. In fact, is she the reason Star-Lord dies? No. She ends up dying to a Namor Squid, which is great. But that would have been nice for us to go up there and kill her. Also, your brown wall is too far away currently. If you have a look, you see this green ring. I can't, you know, go into a different thing, but this green ring around you is what activates or awakens your walls. So currently, your brown wall isn't in your ring. Yeah. So T-Rose just said in the chat, I'm noticing I have 0 awareness. We're not paying attention to anything that isn't directly in front of us. We're not using our audio cues to listen to shots nearby. We're just kind of attacking the first thing we see. This kind of AFK on the payload as well isn't going to do us any favors. We know the Strange is portaling because A, we heard him say, I'm opening a portal. And he's 100% close enough for us to hear that. And B, we just heard the portal news. So the last thing we want to be doing is AFKing over here on the payload. We want to be figuring out where that portal's coming from, and as a Groot, just going over to that portal and making it difficult for them to come through. Throw your walls down. Make a little room of death for them. Theo says, I've got to start wearing my headset when I play. I have one, just never wear it. It reminds me of the old Call of Duty days, back when I played Call of Duty on console, and you know, you had to have the dead silence perk on because the people who were good had their headphones on and listened out for footsteps because the footsteps told you where people were coming from. Your your eyes are just as important as your ears in this game because you can hear ultimates being used, you can hear footsteps of people nearby, you can hear people attacking, abilities being used. It allows you to gain more information that you wouldn't have by just wearing headphones. So yeah, if you've got a pair, I'd recommend getting them plugged in for this game, Tiro. We've taken a little bit of time to react here, and instead, look, we've got our cloak and dagger over there. She needs some help. I don't know where she's gone. Is she flying up into the trees? She's turned into cloak. She's flying off. We've got the thing back here. We've got Luna back here. And we just drop 2 walls and say, nah, forget about you guys. You know, don't be afraid to be a little bit further forward. Like, you've got to get to your teammates and hopefully save them. Or at least be Groot with your healers. You know, we could come in through this way. It's okay if this payload starts moving as long as it doesn't move all the way over here. So yeah, so Tyro, what we could do is we could walk through here and just try and get to our teammates. You know, let's get to our healers. Let's group up. Because a Groot on point without a healer is an easy Groot to kill. And we've used both our walls now, so we don't have our green walls available. We are also outside the range of our brown wall, so if you have a look, we're not getting any bonus health. We've just put that brown wall, left it there, and forgot about it. I know you wanted a Thor review, and we're mainly looking at Groot here, but, you know, if Groot's something we are picking in comp games, it's definitely useful to learn some of these things about him. So can you see, as soon as you get into range of the brown wall, that's when we start getting our blue temporary health, as soon as that green ring meets it. This little green ring here, it's kind of hard to see, but that's the range of awakening. So we've got a co-op time ulti down. They're down someone just like we are, but I'd love to see some more aggression coming out. Fortunately, they counter us with a Mantis. So we're backing up. The Luna reacts really, really quickly. And again, you know, did we notice that Mantis was low, Tyro? You know, I think we put the wall down and we throw something, but we don't realize that she's sectioned herself off here. She's exposed and alone. So this is the perfect opportunity. Like, she should be getting our full attention here. Not this Groot and this Doctor Strange. I know she dies to the Namor, but I'd just love to see you thinking about, you know, going for that support that's on her own. Trapping that support, you know, making that support's life hell. Also, look how long this arm is. Whee! Tyro says, I play Groot on this map and Birin T'Challa domination. Otherwise, it's Thor or Hulk in the thing if their abilities are more synergetic with the second tank. Cool. So yeah, so you do play Groot a lot, so we're going to get some use out of this replay for you. So his arms look like they go a lot further in replays than they do when you're playing. Yeah, so the enemy team still has all of their ultis, apart from the support ult. They're about to get a Loki. But again, just look at all this damage we're doing to tanks. Look, a Hela's just chilling up here. This is where we can hop on this jump pad. Just go and make this Hela's life a little bit of a nightmare. You've got a Lunar ulti going on, so you don't need to be playing Mr. Frontline as much. And your walls as well, just maybe bring some of them in a little bit closer. You know, we've got a wall available here, so just put a wall in front of this man. Stop him running away. You know, he's turned around and he's leaving because he's low health. Don't let him do that. And again, just here, Mr. Fantastic's going on our backline. He's killing our supports. And again, we've just not really done anything about it. We're just keeping this aggression. We're keeping the damage. Look, can you hear the obnoxious laughing going on behind me? And you can help out with this because I believe you can block his ulti from doing damage by just having a wall in front of your supports. You're just putting walls down for your supports to hide behind. If you have a look, he just kind of bounces over and then just chases. You know, sadly, the Hela ult is going off at the same time. So they are just comboing, and it's very possible that you might not have been able to save her, but putting up a wall would have given her somewhere to hide. Yeah, he's a very goofy character. Where's his thick thighs? Why are we only top heavy? You know? Where's my thick thighs? And yeah, we just end up dying because we're just kind of fighting their whole team while, you know, the rest of our team has unfortunately been pushed away by that Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, bro skip leg day, that's for sure, Debermon. Just here on the respawn as well. So, when do they hit the checkpoint? To be honest, your whole team there should maybe just be using the spawn room to get back to the next place. You can also walk out this door here. So you can walk out this door and just kind of come around this corner. You know, you can either go out this way or you can go out the way that brings you up here. But 9 times out of 10, if you come out of this spawn, you're Groot, so hopefully you'll be okay. But these two supports are going to have a difficult time. Like, they've capped the point with most of their team alive, so coming out here is just likely to be a death sentence and actually give these guys more payload than they should get. So I think this here, we use our brown wall as a bit of an escape. We're just kind of trapped in a corner now. Are we going to die? Yeah. So obviously I've not watched this replay before, Tyro. But as I mentioned, you know, coming out of that room is a death sentence. Your cloak and dagger died coming out of that room. Did Luna die? No, Luna survived on the lowest amount of health possible just because she was quick. But yeah, just try and think about whether or not coming out of that door is going to be the best decision for you. Because now the team is down a tank, they're down a healer, and they're going to get this corner for free. Payload's just going to move. The good news is they've got no one on the payload right now, so it's moving pretty slowly. But we are just on the back foot now. He would have had the ability, so if you can walk back into the spawn room to do it, Wolfin, after they've capped the point. So if you walk out of spawn and they cap the point, you can just turn right back around and go in there and press the ability to spawn to the next room. Because there's a couple of seconds after the point's captured that spawn room still exists. So this time, you know, we've used our brown wall. We've used it to actually block a direction. The bad news is we've locked our Star-Lord out. And now he's just going to destroy your wall. Because he wants to get back to the team. We could have also used the brown wall over here. Again, we could have used it aggressively. Yeah, but then that's where you ping for the supports to go another way, or you hop into chat, Tyro. You know, you drop into the voice chat and you say, guys, you know, take the other door or go a different route. Also, if your thing and both supports jumped off a bridge to their death, would you jump off it with them as well, just because you didn't want to leave them? It's like, just because somebody else has made a terrible decision doesn't mean we need to either. I understand. Yeah, the Star-Lord, sadly, but this is where the Star-Lord should be going this way. This is where the Star-Lord should be playing the off angle. You know, attacking from up here. It's silly of him to try and destroy his own Groot wall. Obviously, we'll go back to you in a minute. I know we just ulted, but look, by the time he gets out here, fight's over. No, I don't think Star-Lord thought he was griefing. I think Star-Lord just went to get a health pack, even though he was on 75% health. You know, guys, please don't get health packs when you've got a healer healing you and you're that much health. You're just stopping someone on critical from getting it. But yeah, so we use that there. And again, you've thrown your Groot ult quite far forward, so we're not gaining too much from this wall. So try and aim for your own walls when you throw your ulti out. What we could do here is you could just look. I guess the Strange shield does stop us, but you can see that we are kind of dropping it low and forward. But yeah, try and hit your own wall, because what it will do is it will suck them into the wall for you. But otherwise, pretty good here. What I would like to see is us using the brown wall. If you know you're coming out here to ulti, is using the brown wall to block off healers. So we could have put the brown wall here. We could have put the brown wall over here, because we want to make sure we're doing as much damage as possible. You were aiming further back with the strange. Your strange shield stopped it. Yeah, I think that's what happened. But yeah, use this brown wall to stop the healing, because this Sue has been able to put a shield down because of her positioning. She's just able to heal the Groot. Now, if the Groot was smart here, he would have backed off. But he just went full aggro and died. He should be backing off there to regroup with his team to just get his health up a little bit more. But he just pushes the aggression. Some good hits here on the Groot. Our brown wall is available. So again, let's try and use our brown wall aggressively maybe. Put it behind them so they can't run away once this ulti finishes. If we look here as well, we've doubled up our wall. So this is something we never really want to do. Just think a little bit more about where those walls are going. Walls in this area, you can actually put a wall up here facing downwards. So it just whips people as they come through. It's really useful. Again, you could do the same here. So if someone walks around this corner, you can put those Groot walls down. There's only 10 seconds left. So could we have our brown wall down here to stop them coming through? Again, to stop the healers. Could we put our brown wall down here to stop the Loki, or a normal door to stop the Loki coming through? Loki's 1 health. So again, we're just hitting the first thing we see here, Tyro. Or Tyro, sorry. You know, look. We're just shooting the Strange. We're shooting the Strange. We're shooting the Strange. Oh, look, there's a Loki. There's a Loki on half health. There's a Loki on 1 health. You know, if we just sneeze on the man, if we just sneeze on his 3rd leg, he's falling down on the ground. But instead, he stays alive. He keeps his teammates up. He gets a rune down and just kind of helps snowball the rest of his team, and now we're dead. With our positioning as well, if we just look at that again, you know, do we know what's going on with the rest of our team? Do we know why we're not getting kills? We're kind of running through the Groot walls. We haven't really turned around. We didn't use our brown wall either to help save us. And that's because your brown wall, Tyro, you put down and you forget about. So maybe you didn't even notice that the Star-Lord destroyed your brown wall and you still think it's over here. But you just need to think a little bit more actively about that brown wall. It's called his Iron Heart wall, if I remember correctly. And then the enemy are just probably going to come in off the back of this. Oh, your Luna got a kill on their tank. So what do we do when we're coming back in? So I imagine we're going to go brown wall. That's the first time we've used it to block off some line of sights. You know, put that brown wall there, put 2 green walls down here, and then let's deal with DJ Butthole. You say big and little walls. Ironwood, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't call it a brown wall. Maybe that has some other connotations. What are these doing for you? These aren't going to help right now. If we'd put them here to stop this Loki coming through, to stop this Mr. Fantastic coming through, that would have been great. I'm watching this and realize I block off LOS way too much on Groot. Yeah, you want to make sure you're not you want to make sure you're blocking the enemy's LOS and not your team's. The worst thing that you can do on a Groot is block off your teammates, It's a distracting wall. Yeah, it's definitely distracting me. But we're not gaining much from those two, and now our wall's on cooldown. And again, what are we shooting at there, Tyro? We're shooting at a dead Loki, I think. Do you hold R2, Tyro, or do you click it? Because it's a good habit to get out of just holding the attack button and hoping that you time up with Groot's, animation, and actually just kind of slowing your attacks down and actively thinking about each time you pull the trigger. Yeah, so you hold R, and I can tell you hold R2 by the way that these attacks go off. You see how you're kind of like, you've moved your cursor to Mr. Fantastic, so you would hit him, but unfortunately, you've pressed it too early, so you miss him. Like, your aim isn't bad. You're just... You're hindering yourself. See, look there, you have your cursor on him. So you could hit him. I want to see a big wall. I want to see an ironwood wall go down here, stopping that Groot come in. I want to see an ironwood wall go down in front of this portal as well. Oof. I was lucky. I was about to be disappointed with that ult usage. Like, I understand why you're using it to stop the Strange from getting forward. But this, that Groot ulti could be used in a couple of seconds when a bunch of them come through that portal. I feel like I should be good on my Mr. Fantastic with how much I... Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Mr. Fantastic, I think, is an absolute console character because of the way that you move. Joysticks definitely support that kind of playstyle. Alright, so where are we going here? So we're going for our defensive brown wall. Okay, Captain. So just here, where do you think we could have put our other wall? So we could have just put a wall here. So that when he does finally turn around, yes, he's able to kind of jump over them and get away. But we could put another wall here in anticipation for when he comes back. And just make it difficult for anyone to come and support him. I've noticed I just need to work on walls more, where and when they're placed, definitely. So working on walls more and just having a little bit more awareness about what's going on with the rest of your team. Again, unfortunately, we do use both of our walls there. So we don't have any walls here to kind of trap people off again. Taking a lot of damage. So we don't respect the damage we're taking there, Tyro. We've got our brown wall available that we could drop in front of us. I'd much rather see your ironwood wall go on cooldown than you die. We're at 164 health and we're still stood in the main channel. And we actually go for the super defensive. In fact, I'm not going to call that super defensive. I'm going to call that super greedy brown wall. Yeah, Wolfin's just mentioned it there. We don't have an escape plan again. So our escape plan should be put this brown wall down in front of everyone and get myself around this corner. True, Debamon, we could stack walls to prevent him from jumping. That's a really good shout. What's the brown wall on that wall going to do for you, Tyro? It's not going to do much. Cap just doing cap things. Where are we going here? Okay, we're going for the Groot flank. Don't see this very often. What are we going to do? We're just going to walk straight onto point. Nice. So, can you see why that hasn't worked? Let's review what happened. So when we finally touch the point and tell the whole enemy team that we're here, where's the rest of our team? Let's have a look. Sue's dead. Captain America's dead. Luna's running for her life. And so is Star-Lord. So what you're doing here is... Oh, and the Thing's dead. Yeah, so that's where he died. He's changed the captain up here. No one's here to help us. You got annoyed here because my team refused to move up after I said something in voice chat. That's fair enough, but doing something like this, Tyro, is just going to cause your death. You haven't even looked to the right to see if your team's still alive. You haven't taken a little look upwards, you know, to look, is anyone up there with the Hela? Is she alone? You know, there's the Loki clones. We haven't preemptively put down any walls to prevent people from this area coming back. I don't mind you trying to do something different, but this isn't the different that we need to do, because look, as soon as we stand here, we put a wall up there, Hela's just going to walk around it. We put our brown wall down, again, kind of very selfishly. No, I appreciate you sharing your thought process, because I think it's important to, you know, we all have moments like this where the rest of our team's pissing us off. But if you allow yourself to tilt, if you allow yourself to continue to do stuff like this, then there's no way you're going to win the game. The best thing you can do is just try and carry the team on your back. Try and do a play, you know, when the rest of your team is alive. If you do this, I don't mind you doing this, Tyro. But I would like to see you do this when the rest of your team is alive. And if that means, you know, waiting round the corner here till you see people respawn and then coming out, or even just walking up the steps here and fighting the Hela instead. Because what you've done is you've stood on the point and you've rung an alarm bell. The second you've stood on this point, Loki's turned around. Star-Lord's turned around. Cloak and Dagger's turned around. Groot, is he turning around? No, he's not. But, you know, most of their team has realised that you're there. Whereas if you just go on this Hela, Hela can't ring an alarm bell. She can say in chat, but maybe some people aren't listening. Maybe she's not on a microphone. Wolfin says, I don't think your team has been playing bad. If you're having trouble getting through a choke, then play for ults and be patient until you can push. There's still 2 minutes 45 left on the clock. So we're not in it's game over mode yet. We're doing stuff like that. Now you're dead when the rest of your team is alive. So now you're definitely not going to be able to get to the point. But I appreciate you were frustrated. Frustration happens. You know, we all get a little bit tilted at times. But it's about pushing through that tilt. So we can see a cap doing some damage there. Again, like we've not, like, could we be throwing out an L2? Could we be trying to get a wall down there ready to interrupt him? Could we be throwing some attacks towards him? You know, it just doesn't look like we react very much to the fact that that's happening. Sadly, the wall goes down when we want to put ours down, which I don't disagree with. I can see you going to put it down to try and save your tank, who's low health. But I don't agree with doubling down the barricade there, because now you guys can't destroy that, and you can't help your cap who's on the other side. The good news is he jumps over on the lowest amount of health. Nice. So we're backing up, we're moving away. But could we use some walls to trap some people there? Alright. So we're playing defensive here. We're backing up. We've got our brown wall available. You know, look at where this cloak is. Let's get our brown wall down. Let's trap them. Look at our health. You know, we're respecting our health bar at the moment. And I think your habit here is when you're low health, Tyro, you go backwards. When actually what you should be doing here is going sideways. So we've nearly got ulti. So let's push in with our teammates' ult. Alright, legendary's going on, so can we get a wall down? So just there, again, headphones. Maybe if you had some headphones on here, you would have been able to figure out where he was a little bit earlier. But just look how long we're kind of spending looking around. So legendary pops. We see where the bullets are coming from. Let's get some walls down. You know, let's get some walls down blocking this window. Let's get our ironwood wall down on top of the payload. So we can put it on top of the payload, and what that does is it creates a high wall for your team to hide from legendary behind. Let's get set up for the next fight. Like, one of Groot's powers is his ability to block walls. The good news is you cap the point before any of them make it back. But we don't do anything to help kind of defend that point there. Just a bit of a percentage, man.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
So our positioning here. Again, we didn't look to the right. So we come out of the door there. Just take a little glance to the right. Just check what's going on. You know, how do you know that there isn't 4 of them just stood right there, ready to shoot you? I know they're over here, and maybe we would be able to hear them, but let's just get visual confirmation of that. Quick little look to the right. We can go back here. So Groot's just been hooked. Time to put our ironwood wall down. He dies in the end, but just think, hook, wall. Get this wall down. So his healers can't help him, so his DPS can't help him. You know, take advantage of the fact that your Bucky has just landed a really, really good hook. Does it actually wrap around the person? Yeah, it does. I've never noticed that before. So it's like a little, like a bowler. Yeah, both the tanks are mirrored. We got a cap and a Groot. That's a cap and a Groot. So we've just killed their tank. Let's push this aggression forward slightly. Instead, we're going for your favourite. So I think you've got some spots that you just like to put your brown wall in, and you just put them in there regardless of what's happening. Your ironwood wall. Forget about cap. There's not a lot we can do to cap. So Loki's just used his rune. So I'd be thinking about my ulti now. I'll be thinking about how can I get an ult down to help. So there's the ult. Yep, lovely. Where's our wall? Nice. Let's just have a little look at that again. So our wall is a little bit further back. Unfortunately, it gets destroyed pretty quickly, which is a shame. We end up just getting the 2 tanks. But at least we've got it off. We forced out a support ult when it wasn't needed. And this is it again. Like, do we know what's going on behind us? We are getting that bonus health, which is lovely to see. You know, we're up at 1,025. Legendary's just gone off behind us. So have we even turned around to try and help? To try and put some walls down? Like, we're just not reacting, Tyro. We're very blinkered. We're just focusing on what's right in front of us. The good news is Luna had her ulti, so she's able to save the team. Again, look, by the time we've turned around... Tyro, please. Your Luna is on critical health, brother. I don't know if you have this setting turned on, Tyro. So if you go to settings, you go to keyboard, you scroll down, and you've got allied health bars. Make sure these are turned on, so that when you're not playing support, you're able to see where everybody's health is. It's really, really important to have this on. Because if we just have a little look here from your perspective... So we're fighting. fighting, we can see that our supports are currently under attack by one of their supports and a tank. And you see this, you even attack towards them. We can see that Luna is on really, really low health here, about 25% health. We're fighting, and then Cap jumps off. So we just, you know, let that Cap disappear. You're a Groot. You're not going to kill him when he's on this much health. Your Luna's still under attack. You know, Loki's here, and even Star-Lord's on his way in. But we're just like, nah, she'll be all right. She'll be okay. She'll be okay. I've got a Captain America I need to chase. So just think about your team a little bit more, especially as a tank. You know, let's watch the Luna from her perspective. You know, the good news is she gets away. She gets to the health pack. But that's because Cloak and Dagger's there protecting her. But while Cloak and Dagger's there is protecting her, your team has no healer. So your Star-Lord's ulting, you know, you're walking forward, your Captain America's in the back, but the rest of our team isn't with us because they've been chased away. So just respect your teammates a little bit more. Try and protect them a bit more. You know, just there as well. Can you see that? Who's my Cloak and Dagger and Luna fighting? You know, who are they shooting at? Who's behind us? Oh, it's Cap. You know, but we don't know that. We don't even kind of realise that they're fighting. You know, maybe they're about to need some help. So Hela roll. So again, we attract her attention. Could we put some walls down again? Just behind us, just on top of the payload to try and create some areas of safety for our team? So our brown wall now, sorry, I know you've just ulted, our brown wall's too far away. So our ironwood wall, we're not gaining benefit from anymore. I think you might pick Thor at the very, very, very end, Tyro. Maybe when things aren't going very well. But just here, there's a Loki rune in front of us. And we ult right into the middle of it. It's probably poor timing. But, you know, we could argue that you do have some reactions there to kind of not throw that out in the middle of the, you know, the invulnerability runes. Also, we have a wall available that we don't put down, and yeah, that was just a little bit of a bad ulti. The good news is Cloak and Dagger ults when she doesn't need to. But the bad news is your team just gets run down after that. And again, like, could we have had our Ironwood wall available to use as a blocker? So you pull in those 3 people, you put your Ironwood wall down to stop people helping out, people throwing in shields, people throwing in heals. Oh, here we go, it's Thor time, baby.
Down to 30 seconds. Get that vehicle moving again.
We've had enough, Groot. So Cap just died, going in on his own. So I've just heard your Luna say that she's hurt. There's a Cap behind you. And again, we're just letting the Cap do what he wants. Even the Star-Lord as well that was close by. You know, we're all payload, 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 payload. I'm feeling good about this point, Wolfin. I think we're going to cap this point. Feeling good. Loki's just turned into Captain America. We both know what happens when you do that. I think we watched our previous review. Just think about your positioning a little bit here as well. Just make sure that you're using the payload to kind of kite, you know, to step in and out of, to kind of back out, go in, back out. Just, you know, give your healers a little bit of a break when they need to heal you. Nice kill there with the Thor Force. So I'd like to see you just push a bit more aggression there. I know it's difficult trusting your team in this overtime moment, but they don't want to lose just as much as you don't want to lose. So I'd love to see you push the aggression you just got on the healers there. So if we just go back and look at that again. I'd love to see you just carry on pushing this. You know, turn to the real Loki or start moving towards the Cloak and Dagger. Just make sure that their two supports here are going to pay for it. Either 3 swing plus CC or 3 swing plus hammer throw to increase your damage output when close to someone. Yeah. So you see that? Like, they're both just able to kind of run away. Cap carries on chasing them. Captain America's ulting on the back line. There's nothing we can do whilst he's doing that. But what we could have done was push the aggression into this cloak along with the cap, and we might have even been able to stop her before we ulti. If we actually have a look at the percentage of ult that she's on, and you decide not to push her, she's on 88%. So it's very possible that you could have killed her here. We could have, you know, the Captain America goes in and kills the Loki. If you're there with him, I think that cloak dies. Then the cloak doesn't get her ulti off. And then I think what's going to happen here is the cloak's going to ulti. She's going to delay long enough for the rest of the team to get back here. And then you guys don't cap the point. So we are low. Again, we're not really using that payload. Just watch our death again. I know we're running around in Cloak and Dagger ulti. It's something we have to do. But when we pop Thor Force, what we can do is we can jump on top of the payload, and then you stop taking that damage, I'm pretty sure. We also aren't too sure what's going on with our teammates behind us. Again, we're just kind of looking forward. So what's happened to our healers? Are they okay? Are they under threat? And sadly, we just end up dying there with our ult on cooldown. And that's the point of it. So again, there are a few things we might have been able to do in that fight to turn it around, which could have ended up capping the point, which then could have ended up to us winning the game on that one, Tyro. I think overall, you know, I think the 3 main things for you, if we're just talking about general tips, is number 1, just be a bit more aware of what's going on around you and how you are supporting the rest of your team. You know, are people going on your supports? Do you need to turn around for a moment to protect the people behind you? Number 2, thinking about Groot, is usage of your walls. You definitely just use the Ironheart to give you extra health. You don't really use it for any area denial. You don't use it to try and trap people. You're only using it for the one thing that it does. Yes, it feels good to have extra health, but I'd love to see us use that wall more aggressively, cancelling it and using it when fights are going one way. You know, putting it down in the middle of a Cloak and Dagger ulti to just cause chaos. Like, Groot can be an absolute nightmare with versus supports and breaking line of sights and just causing that drama. And then the third thing would just be the ulti usage. So just think, what abilities have they just used? Is anyone on my team have an ulti that they can combo with mine to make sure we get something off? Do I have my own abilities ready to use with my ulti? So on Groot, is my small wall available? Is my AoE ranged damage available to make sure that my wall whips people? It's just keeping those little things in mind to make sure that you're getting the most out of every ultimate that you use. But I do hope that you're able to take some things away from that, Tyro. I've really enjoyed watching that. It's made me want to play some more Groot, I can't lie. So I'm probably going to play some of him tonight and, you know, upset my stack by playing Groot. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, Tyro. And if you guys want your replay reviewed, just come and check me out on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays on Twitch from 17:15 GMT, or join the Discord and pop your replay into the request submission pot. Hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace.